Hi everyone, welcome to Ponderings of the Priest. What I'd like for us to ponder together for the next couple of weeks are the values of Jesus, the values Jesus teaches us. Presiding Bishop Michael Curry tells us that it is better for us to discuss the values of Jesus than the issues of the day. And so what I'd like to begin with today are the values Jesus teaches us regarding our ethical conduct and our ethical behavior. And the word ethos comes from the Greek meaning for the good of the other. And so where that takes me theologically and biblically is to Jesus' summation of the law of how it is that we act for the good of the other, is that we love the Lord our God with all our heart and all our mind and all our soul and all our strength. In other words, with every fiber of our createdness, of our being. And then we love our neighbor as we love ourselves. And so this is the highest value that Jesus gives us, in addition to the new commandment that we love one another as he loves us. And so what this means is we don't get to be self-centered. We don't get to be self-absorbed. We don't get to act selfishly. We must always be thoughtful of how our behavior impacts other people. And so this value that Jesus teaches us, it permeates every single dimension of our lives. And so as we love others and we love God, because that's the first thing we have to do, is we've got to love God first and foremost above everything and everyone else, because it is then that we find the motivation to love each other and to love ourselves as God loves us. There's a great acronym for joy: Jesus, others, and yourself. So this then takes me today as part of the pondering to a question that is helpful for us to ask ourselves: how happy am I with my life and with myself? Do I find myself to be always dissatisfied, always unhappy, always feeling that there's something amiss? Perhaps it's because of the values by which we are living our lives. Are we living the Ten Commandments? That really is the first thing, because Jesus' summation of the law is a summation of the Ten Commandments. And those 10 commandments tell us very simply how we love God, how we love our neighbor, and how we love ourselves. We don't create false idols of money, material goods, automobiles. I know that's a material good, but somehow it seems different. We don't create idols of relationships or other people. We only choose to love God above all else. And then the ways that we love our neighbors. We don't lie, we don't cheat, we don't steal, we don't step on top of people to get whatever we want, regardless of how we affect other people. We don't get to do that. So it's all in there. It's just a question of how much we want to pay attention to it. And I find that when my life is not what I hoped it should be, chances are that I'm not living completely by the values that Jesus has taught me. And if you want to look into this further about more of the values that Jesus teaches as it relates to our ethics of how we treat one another and how we live our lives on a daily basis, we can look to Matthew chapters 5 through 8. And where all of this goes to for us is our integrity. Are our lives integrated? Are they whole? Because that's what integrity is that we're integrated. We're not living duplicitous lives. We're not putting ourselves forward over here as one person and over here as another person. And when we go home at night, we kick the dog and hit our kids. That we're living a life that is fully integrated with the values and the morals of the teachings of Jesus. And if you find you're not, don't take this pondering as an opportunity to beat yourself up and think yourself to be a terrible person. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, as 1 John tells us. So that's not the issue. The issue is, A, what do we want to do with that? And B, how do we want to ask God to help us to change? Because it is God who will help us to do that. So, something to ponder for the week. Am I living a life that is based in the values and the ethics that Jesus teaches us? Have a nice day, everybody.